This is from Test 65, Section 4, Question 3. Travel industry consultant. Several airlines are increasing elbow room and leg room in business class because surveys show that business travelers value additional space more than, say, better meals. But, okay, that's why they're doing that. But airlines are over concerned about the comfort of passengers flying on business. They should instead focus on the comfort of leisure travelers because those travelers purchase 80% of all airline tickets. Okay. I'm already upset. Are you?
Yeah, I was actually surprised that you didn't start yelling when you got to that semicolon.
Hmm.
I was a little bit surprised that you didn't like. I mean, I bet you did in your head, right? Just like object to that.
Sure. It is like a blanket conclusion at that point.
Well,
Yeah.
it also goes again. I mean, you just said surveys show that business travelers value additional space more than, for example,
Mm-hmm.
better meals.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes, but airlines are over concerned about the comfort of passengers flying on business. And it's like
Mm-hmm.
the needle comes skipping off of the record right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what? Wait, what?
Yeah.
Um, it's a normative claim, right? I mean, it's over concerned,
Mm-hmm.
has a judgment in it.
Yeah.
So that's just worth that's the type of shit that we need to notice. You get to that and then you're expecting evidence, and then they do give
Mm-hmm.
you some evidence, right?
Yeah. They should instead focus on the comfort of leisure travelers. Okay, so they're too concerned about business folks. Instead, they should be more concerned about leisure travelers, the rest of us, because those travelers purchase 80% of all airline tickets. I agree with that fact. That sounds about right. Even if it isn't true, we have to accept it as true because it's a premise, but that don't matter. Right? Just because the number of tickets sold to leisure travelers is higher, 5 times higher, right? That doesn't mean that they're making that much money from them. They're probably all economy tickets,
Okay.
whereas
So
business might.
yep. So now you're pointing out the difference between revenue and just ticket sales.
Yeah.
As far as we know, it could be that the airlines lose money on leisure travel,
Mm-hmm.
and they only do that to fill up the plane so that they can charge the business travelers whatever they want to charge them, right? It could be that business travelers are just like the key to this whole industry.
Yeah.
Maybe business travelers are also leisure travelers. Oh, think about that.
Hmm.
Right? Like that when they're not working, when they're not traveling for business, they might travel for leisure.
Mm-hmm.
But if you attract the business travel customers, then you might also get their leisure travel business.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good objection to make here.
Yeah.
Also, why not both?
Lots of problems.
Like, why wouldn't you service the business customers as well as you possibly could? What does pointing out that, oh, we sell more leisure tickets, so I mean, we should just ignore the demand, the requests or the desires of the other segment of our. Okay, all right,
Yeah.
go ahead. I don't want to hijack.
Oh, no worries. Which one of the following? So the question says, which one of the following, if true, most weakens the reasoning in the travel industry consultant's argument? This is a bottom up question. It's a weakening question. It's bottom up because we have to accept all 5 answer choices as true, even if we disagree with them. Which one of the following, if true? So I'm looking for something that's, if it were true, would make me doubt the conclusion that they should instead focus on the comfort of leisure travelers.
Okay.
I'm going to be like, oh, maybe not actually. A, business travelers often make travel decisions based on whether they feel a given airline values their business. Okay, well, that's probably true for Well, I don't know if that's true for everybody, but regardless, I don't know. I don't care about this because that could be true for leisure travelers as well. I don't know. It doesn't necessarily make me feel like the business travelers are more important than the leisure travelers. Do you have
Also,
any?
it's inherently weak, right? Because of the word often.
Mm-hmm.
Often
Often.
means sometimes. So
Uh-oh.
what?
Oh, I lost you for a half second. But
Oh,
anyways, yeah, go ahead.
no, often means sometimes. So
Yeah.
the fact that they sometimes make travel decisions based on whether they feel a given airline values their business doesn't mean they always do. It could be that two business travelers do this. So it's an inherently weak answer, which is not a good answer for a bottom up question, right? We would prefer an always there would make that better.
Yeah.
But even then, I don't know that it really does that much because there might be other ways to make them feel that we value their business besides increasing the leg room.
Yeah. And
Surveys
it,
say that they like leg room, but maybe if we smile at them when they come on board, they understand, they feel that we value their business, or we send them nice emails, or we whatever. I don't know.
yeah. Well, also, this doesn't talk about the leisure travelers. So I'm like, I don't know why we should shift our focus more to them just because business travelers often make these decisions. I don't know anything about the leisure ones.
Okay.
B, also weak,
Yeah.
some airlines have indicated that they will undertake alterations in seating space throughout the entire passenger area of their planes in the near future. Okay. This talks about neither business nor leisure travelers. It only talks about at least one airline, and I don't really care about any of this.
Also, alterations in seating space.
We don't know whether it's up or down.
Right. That could be that's a perfect example of what I was talking about earlier, where it's
Mm-hmm.
just changes, but we don't know whether it's making more room or less room. So then how could it be a strengthener or a weakener? If I don't
Mm-hmm.
know which way that goes, then I just there's no way I'm gonna include that fact in my brief when I don't even know what that fact means.
Yeah.
Right. You don't that's
But,
not
Your Honor, they're going to undertake alterations.
of course that means they're making more room, Your Honor. It
Mm-hmm.
says alterations. The judge is like, it doesn't say bigger. The other attorney is like, alterations. Yes, they are making it smaller. Okay.
Oops. Yeah. C, sleeping in comfort during long flights is not the primary concern of leisure travelers.
Whoa.
Okay. Um, well, it still might be a concern. Either way, um, I, this is how I react to a lot of wrong answers. Like,
Yep.
what?
Yep. Exactly. Because it's like I expect the wrong answers to be wrong.
Yeah.
So when they bring up a new idea, the new idea doesn't automatically make it wrong. It's just like, wait, sleeping in comfort? Okay, that wasn't part of the argument.
Mm-hmm.
They talked about adding a little bit of elbow and leg room. That's not the same thing necessarily as sleeping in comfort.
Is anyone sleeping? They might
Ugh,
not be.
I wish I could sleep on planes, but I can't. But anyway, um, it's not the primary concern of leisure travelers. Yeah, I just read that and I go, next. Like,
Yeah.
what?
D, a far greater proportion of an airline's revenues is derived from business travelers than from leisure travelers.
Ooh.
Boom. That just goes right at the heart of our concern. They're basically trying to argue that they should be more concerned about leisure travelers because they make up such a great percentage of airline tickets. But do they make up a great percentage of airline revenue? Much bigger issue,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, we know in real life that business class costs like 5 times as much as economy. And so, I mean,
Yeah.
that's common sense. Lots of times students are like, "Well, but wait, but that's outside information. You're not allowed to bring that in." But I'm not bringing that in as fact. I was bringing it in as conjecture, right? I was bringing it in as what about what if?
What if that is the case?
As
That
I
could be a
as I do
problem.
happen to know to be true in real life that business class
Mhm.
costs a lot more than economy, and they had been talking about making these improvements to business class, talking about business travelers. And it's like, well, wait a second. Yeah, they might sell a lot of economy tickets, but they might make a lot more money off of the business class because they charge so much for it.
Yeah.
That was my like Yes, I'm using outside information in order to make that objection.
Mm-hmm.
But D makes that a fact because it's a bottom up, right? It says if true in the which one if true in the question stem.
Yeah.
So now D becomes a fact that they make a far greater proportion of their airline revenues on business travel than they do from economy.
Yeah.
Perfect answer. Okay.
Perfect answer. E, most leisure travelers buy airline tickets only when fares are discounted. Cool, but we don't know whether they're still making more money from leisure travelers or not. We don't know what this means. So even though it has this stronger language like most, okay, and only when they're discounted. Oh, great. But how much are they discounted? And are they still making more money
Right.
from
And
leisure travelers? They might be.
discounted from what?
Yeah.
This might be like law school, right? Where they have the outrageously overinflated price in the first place, and then they give everybody a discount.
Yeah.
Then it doesn't affect the argument at all. It's like, oh yeah, no, they'll only buy it if it's discounted. But don't worry, we overcharge them brutally in the first place.
Yeah.
Give everybody a discount so they feel special. Then that doesn't do anything to this argument at all.
Boom. It's
Good
up to
example
D.
of one where we predicted the answer well before we read the question stem, by the way. Reading the question stem here would not have helped us in the slightest because we read the argument, we attacked the argument, and it's like obvious. There's an obvious objection that could be made.